Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is the first in a series of videos introducing you to the OpenStudio application. My name is Matt Delorier. I work with VEIC. We're a nonprofit accelerating decarbonization. We're also part of the OpenStudio Coalition. So, real high level, what is OpenStudio? It's basically a package of software tools that make developing energy models that run in Energy Plus a lot easier. It's a free and open source collection, and it's maintained by NREL. So what's the difference between the OpenStudio SDK and the OpenStudio app? So there are two flavors of OpenStudio, and the OpenStudio SDK, or Software Development Kit, basically allows code to interact with an OpenStudio model. So you can use Ruby, Python, or C++ code, but it is not a graphical application, the OpenStudio SDK. However, there is a graphical application that exists called the OpenStudio app. Here's a snapshot of it that allows a much more user-friendly interface with an OpenStudio model for beginning users. And it relies on this OpenStudio SDK kind of as the backbone of it, but it allows a much easier interface. So why use OpenStudio? Key features and benefits. Everything's open source. If you want to get into it, you can get as deep as you want. You can understand the underlying engine if you wanted, but nothing's really hidden. So you can trust in the results that you're getting out of energy models a lot more. For me, the biggest thing maybe is rapid and standardized development of energy models. So there's a lot of measures out there, which are just kind of little bits of code that allow you to manipulate the model in different ways and really in a systemic and rapid way that really helps you kind of level up your energy modeling. For example, there's a measure that develops an Appendix G model per 90.1, pretty much automatically with a couple of inputs, which saves a ton of time. In addition, there's a lot of energy modeling assumptions that are integrated into OpenStudio through the OpenStudio standards gem, which give a lot of good initial assumptions for an energy model. And lastly, the ability to model comprehensive like HVAC systems that are pretty cutting edge is not found in other software packages. For example, VRF is able to be simulated pretty well in OpenStudio, and you don't always find that. So where does OpenStudio kind of fit in with larger sustainability efforts? Well, there's a bunch of people that have developed tools that integrate with OpenStudio. Those tools target energy savings, decarbonization, kind of runs the gamut. There's a lot of different tools out there that are directed towards sustainability that integrate with OpenStudio. But if you're just developing like a custom model with OpenStudio app 2, there's all the measures that exist out there that really help you accelerate your energy model development. So you can really target the larger decarbonization needed to model our like large unsimulated building stock out there right now. So I'm just going to quickly dive into how to download the OpenStudio application and how to access the BCL, the Building Component Library, which is basically just a large collection of those measures for OpenStudio, which is super helpful to know about. So I'm going to dive into that now. Just going to switch screens and load up my browser. So first, OpenStudio app or application. You can search on Google like that, or whatever search engine you use, and click OpenStudio Coalition. This will be the OpenStudio app. Click Downloads here, and you'll have to register. But once you do, you'll be able to access all these downloads, and you can go to 1.8, which is the most recent. 1.9's just around the corner, I believe. And you can click this link here to download the Windows version. That's what I would click. Or there's Linux and Mac. And also, I want to touch on the BCL. bcl.nrel.gov. You can also type in BCL and NREL. And the first link there would be it. And I usually use the search. There's also a browse, but I find the search to be the most helpful. And you can click. I'm going to type in R value here to find measures that might manipulate the R value of constructions or layers in the model. And just hit enter there. And there are a bunch of measures that will help you manipulate the R value of different layers in a construction. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I'm excited to share more OpenStudio tidbits with you going forward. Thank you so much.